The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz was quite possibly one of the most impactful books I've ever read. Today we're going to talk a little bit about each agreement, but I strongly encourage you to buy this book, listen to this book, write in it, make highlights, revisit it, and use this as a part of your everyday. I know that I do, and it really, really comes in handy, helps me be a better person myself, and also helps me and guides me as I manage others, have children in the house, and try to just live life day to day, using these agreements as part of that guiding light. So let's start with the first agreement: to be impeccable with your word. Basically, this means to speak with integrity. If you need to mean what you say and say what you mean. I mean, I know that sounds funny and cliche. My mom used to tell me that. My grandma used to tell me that. I find myself saying it to my kids, but it is probably the most important thing. You don't want to say things that you don't mean. And so if you can speak with integrity, you'll help yourself not make those mistakes. Using words to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. I like to make a rule that if I couldn't say what I was saying in front of the person, why should I say it when they are not in front of me? Oftentimes we'll find ourselves having conversations with others and someone will walk in the room and the conversation will stop. You don't really get that when you walk into my office. I just keep rolling. And if it's you that I'm having a conversation about and you are walking in, then you are happy to join the conversation, and it should only be to help you as an individual, not ever to hurt you, if I'm being impeccable and speaking with integrity. And then the last part here in this agreement is to use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. If what you are saying is to better someone else, to better yourself, to make a difference for others, and you truly have love in your heart when you're saying it, then you're being impeccable with your word. Number two, the second agreement is don't take anything personally. This one's huge for me. This is the one that I have used from day one when I was a supervisor on the floor. Actually, before that, I use it every day. I use it when we have simple little agreements. Maybe it's my husband and I, maybe it's me and my 13-year-old, maybe it's my mom and I about Thanksgiving, who knows? But whatever conversation I am having, I try to come from a place of not taking anything personally. So if you can keep these things in mind, A, B, and C are all very important. A, nothing others do is because of you. You may need to hear that again. Nothing others do is because of you. And that is really hard to kind of wrap your head around, because sometimes we want it to be about us and sometimes we make it about us. And that is the driving factor for why we tend to get so upset, or why something may bother us to our core. If you think about it though, it really probably isn't. It's probably more about the other person and how they're feeling and where they're coming from. And if we know that, and if we can think about that ahead of time, and not take it personal, we probably will get a lot further in the conversation and actually a lot better as individuals. B, what others say and do is a projection of their own reality and their own dream. Keep that in mind when you're having these conversations. C, when you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be a victim of needless suffering. And I can't tell you how many times this has come in handy. I mean, we all know that when we are in a relationship of any kind, teacher to teacher, teacher to student, or husband and wife, any kind of relationship, manager to a member of our fun crew. If, we don't want to be immune to where we are heartless and we don't have feelings. We do want to feel, but we don't want to internalize it and make it personal. So when we're having those conversations with others and we don't internalize them and don't make it about us, we can hear better. And we can oftentimes help in the situation and be there for other people in a way better fashion than we could if we were making something about us and if we were taking it personally with what we were discussing. So the opinions of others, maybe somebody doesn't like the clothes you're wearing. Maybe somebody doesn't think you should be doing the job you're doing. Those are simply opinions. Those do not make you who you are. You make you who you are. When you are basically immune to that, and you understand that you are who you are and nothing anyone should be saying or doing should change that, it really does make a big difference. The third agreement: don't make assumptions. Okay, this one I'm pretty horrible at. This one I have to revisit all the time. Find the courage to ask questions and express what you really want. It is sometimes fun, let's not lie. It sometimes can be fun to just go with what we think and not have to ask questions and not stop and slow down and reflect and do all of the things that we know to do. And we do sometimes assume. We assume that because my mom doesn't want to come over on Thanksgiving, she must hate me, not like my family, think I can't cook a turkey, whatever. Probably not. We're making assumptions. Did we ask? Do we know? Did she really tell us? Is she being impeccable with her word? Am I taking it personally? You'll notice all of these go hand in hand. B, Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid any misunderstanding, sadness, or drama. This one is huge. This is very hard for me because when I am frustrated or when I don't really feel like I am getting my point across, I tend to get upset and or cry. I'm not really sad. I'm just frustrated and I don't feel like I can express how I'm feeling through my speaking. And so it does take a deep breath, and it does take me reminding myself not to take things personally. The person's probably not doing this because of me. They're probably doing this because of something that they are thinking or something that they might be wanting. So let's reflect on that and let's be open-minded, right? C, with just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. It's very true. Very true. Most misunderstandings start from an assumption. Most disagreements start from an assumption. Seriously, most relationships could probably end because of assumptions. Unless we get down to the root of what we are trying to do and the root of what we're trying to communicate about, then we really can't possibly know. So not making assumptions is crucial. And then number 4, we always want to do our best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to if you are unwell, and that is true. You want to go hard. You want to go all in. I use this specifically with my son all the time. It could be from taking out the trash to brushing your teeth to just giving it your all for your team and yourself on the soccer field. You want to do your best. If for whatever reason, what you're doing you feel like is your best because who knows, maybe you didn't sleep well the night before. Maybe you have a cold and so you can't function 100%. You're going to function at 70. Then you function at 70 the very best you possibly can. Whatever you are going to do, you do your best. And then B, under any circumstance, simply do your best. And you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. Think about it. Any single task that you want to do, if you do it, let's see what an appropriate word is. I want to say something else, but if you do it halfway, then you're not going to feel good about yourself. Later on, when you reflect and you think about, did I go all in? Knowing what I now know, would I do what I was doing that way again? If you can't answer that with a yes, then you didn't always do your best. So to recap, The 4 Agreements is a phenomenal book. You are going to want to get it and read it. It takes no time. It reads like a story. And I'm telling you, you can probably relate to one of these more specifically than another. But also, if you read this book and you start to implement these things in your life, I promise you, you will see some sort of difference. My tip would be to read it and then pass it on to others who you think could actually use the read as well. And then you'll become better on your team, in your personal life, with your family and your friends. Thanks, guys.